All right, what is up, everybody? This is Goodman, and we are going to watch another video here with me getting another house ready for a Section 8 inspection. Now, this house has been on, I think, the last video we did, and me and Mahmoud are going to go in and do a bunch of little things. Mostly it's just me switching out a sink faucet, and I'm going to explain to you why and some of the follies that people fall into as they do a rental renovation. So let's get into the video. So first off, we've got my Monster, which unfortunately I don't drink Monsters anymore. I love the taste, the beautiful, beautiful aroma and flavor of Monster with the blue M, also the white can. But also someone pointed out to me that the white can Monster is the pumpkin spice latte of men. And after they said that, I could never unsee it, so now you can't either. And I'm sorry if I'd ruined your day. Anyway, going back to the video. So we've got a few things we're going to do. Number one, I've got this sink faucet I've got to take care of in the actual kitchen. So that's what we're going to do first, or I'm going to deal with. Mahmoud is going to be dealing with the tub. Now, I have the things to refinish the tub, but I do not want to refinish the tub if I don't have to. And I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. This is the sink faucet that I'm talking about that's in question that we're going to need to take care of. This is the tub. I didn't get a good picture of the bottom of the actual area where you'd be showering. But what I'm telling Mahmoud to do is just go through and scuff everything down, like all of the stuff that's sticking up, all of the refinishing or the finish that was on there, to scrub that thing down so it's nice and level. Because I'm going to see if I can get away without having to redo it. Because the problem is redoing it and we're going to find out later, because obviously this didn't work, is that the refinishing process can be a lot harder than you think. And people like Mahmoud don't know what they're doing, and then they mess everything up, and then you have to go back and redo it yourself. So it's a lot of fun, but whatever. Anyway, my portion of today is getting all this rat poop out from under where the faucet is. Now, it's amazing. None of my houses have rats. Then the second that the tenants move in, rats. What's the difference? Because I live in a house with food. I don't have rats. I feel as though there has to be something in which they do, and I can't figure that out yet. Is it the grease? Is it the trash? I've had chicken wings laying around in houses and stuff, and in a bathroom. That's the best one. We just went to a house, had chicken wings in the bathroom. How in the world do you just sit on the toilet and take a poop and then eat chicken wings? Is that what you do? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so rats everywhere. We get all this stuff cleaned out, and we got to get this old faucet out. So you can see the little red tool made by Rigid. It's a 15-in-1 or 16-in-1 tool. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Find it at Home Depot. That guy right there. So it is the best tool for plumbing that I've ever used in my entire life. That thing is, if you don't have it, you're just not living life, because this thing gets off those little, the nuts that hold the fixtures down, like any of the sink fixtures down. It gets off the water lines, and you don't have to, you literally can take stuff out and you can slide it up so that the water line can remain on, or it's not in your way, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. And then you have a direct path to it. You're able to turn it and you're good to go. You get these things off so easy. I used to do it where I'd lay on my back, stare up at the thing, and try to move it, and never worked, right? It's not ideal. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if you buy this tool, I don't have any kind of affiliation with Rigid. I don't get any money from it, but I'm just letting you know that is the best tool that I've ever used in my entire life when it comes to plumbing. And yeah, I just found it one day sitting at Home Depot, and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy that and see how it worked. My life's never been the same since. But anyway, back to the video. So I guess what I'm going to talk to you guys about is over-renovating rentals, especially Section 8 rentals. So a lot of people will probably be disagreeing with some of the things I do, and that's because you don't have a brain. But I will show you how to have a brain, and maybe you can, figure some things out here. So you have a sprayer right there, you can see, on the sink. Why do we have sprayers on sinks? Well, because normally in your house, when you have a sprayer, it makes things easier to clean. You can wash your vegetables, whatever it is. The problem is that a rental is this isn't someone's sprayer. This is your sprayer that someone else is using. And normally, in this day and age especially, you don't have people that are going to be in your house or move into your house and use your things like you would use them, okay? So they're going to use that sprayer until that sprayer dies. It's the same thing like with their cars, right? A lot of people will drive cars until they just die. They don't care about fixing them. They don't care about maintaining them. They're just like, once the car dies, the car dies. Same thing with rental properties is most people are not going to be sitting there taking care of your stuff. And you don't need to go, well, I mean, there are some people, I know that's always the argument. Well, there's some people that do. Okay, so I'm sorry, for the 1% of people that do, I'm going to act like the 99% of people that don't. I'm supposed to treat them like the 1%? No, I'm not going to do that. So when you're doing things like this, little things such as the sprayers for the kitchen sinks. What's another good example of stuff? What's it called? A garbage disposal in the sink. Dumbest thing you could put into a rental property. I don't know why anyone would ever do that. I don't even have it in my own property because I don't trust my wife with it. But needless to say, I just would never put one of those in a rental property. One of those sprayers for the shower that can come out. Okay, ceiling fans. I do have ceiling fans in some of my rentals. It really depends. Like if I know the tenant, I'll put a ceiling fan in. But in a future video, you're going to see one of these houses that I'm dealing with right now where we have ceiling fans in it and all the fan blades are gone. Why? And I asked one of the kids why the fan blades were gone. They're like, oh, because I jump up and hit the fan blades to see if I can hit them. Really? And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just stuff. There's like simple things that you would think, oh, obviously I'm gonna put that in a rental property because someone would want that, and it's just not smart to do. It's not the right thing to do, and you've got to change your brain to thinking things like that. Stop thinking about I'm gonna renovate this house so it looks like HGTV, and be like I'm gonna rent this house so it looks like some other TV. I don't know, Spike TV or something. That's not even a thing. It's Paramount Network. But anyway, needless to say. Stop over renovating things. There's no point in doing them. I just went to a house recently to look at it to buy. And the people, what I could tell, my realtor was like, why is this house so nice and why are they selling it for so little? And I was like, because someone fell into the trap of 2021 where you had all these people on TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram. They were like, buy these properties. They're good. This, that, and the other. Don't worry about it. You can make the payments and this, whatever, and everything's going to be fine. They bought the house. They put a tenant in it. The tenant probably didn't pay rent. Probably just destroyed a lot of stuff. The AC unit was stolen. The water heater was stolen. You had granite countertops. Looked great. It was amazing how nice the house was. Carpets were they are obviously newer carpets, but they had so many stains on it, so nasty. And that's the problem. Is that those people probably put $60,000 to $70,000 of labor into that house to fix it and make it look that nice, and you bring in a tenant and that's what they're going to do to it. So it's the same thing here. Stop over renovating. Buy cheap flooring that's going to last. So it's not saying buy the cheapest. Buy cheap flooring. Cheap flooring that's waterproof. Cheap flooring that's not too thick. You need it thin. That's what you want. Something that is readily available at all times. So if you have to splice in a piece, you can. Okay? These little things is what you need to be doing when you're doing a rental property, especially a Section 8 property. Do not over renovate. Do not even medium renovate. You renovate to the point where you live there and where you're gonna pass a Section 8 inspection. That's all you gotta do. That's all you need to do. Now, anyway, using that tool, getting everything nice and tight, you can tighten everything. I mean, it's crazy. Like the bottom, I know I'm pointing at the screen right there, but the bottom portions where next to the shutoffs, like the little, like the 1/4 inch parts of the hose, you can use this tool to tighten them, the rigid one. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely 100% you need to buy that tool, okay? You just need to. But going back to everything, over renovating is a huge problem, and it's a huge problem I keep seeing, and it's all I look at is I go, I'm going to buy that house once the people go and destroy it. I'll walk in. At least we'll have the basis of a good renovation, and then I'll buy it and I'll renovate the right way so I don't have to worry about people going in there and destroying it like they did. Oh, look, there's Big Mahmood. Wide Mahmood. Yeah, look at he's got his little arms there. Well, I don't know why Colby didn't put in the wide Mahmood thing again. Whatever. I love this cameraman work. But anyway, so right there you see next to this faucet, I'm going to put, or I think I already did. I can't really tell because I'm a horrible cameraman. I think I'm just putting this back on my chest. But anyway, I'm going to put one of those caps there so that we're not going to have anything there. No sprayer, no nothing. It's just going to be capped off, which I think it's already on there. I just can't tell. But it's going to be capped off. Don't have to worry about that anymore, and I won't have to hear any kind of things like, oh, the sprayer's spraying everywhere. Oh, it broke. That, like, I remember when I was a kid, my dad would say, it broke? After I'd say that, and I was a kid. I was like 5, but that's what I get from like 40-year-old people, right? it broke. So instead of like dealing with that, just don't deal with it and don't have anything else. Monster. If only Monster would have sponsored me when I drank so many Monsters. I literally would drink like a Monster a day or 2 Monsters a day. Probably am gonna die very soon. But I stopped, so everything's okay. Now this is the cap I was talking about. It's like $3. You put that in, tighten it from the bottom, and you're done. And you don't have any more sprayer. You don't have to worry about any of that garbage anymore. Kaput, complete, and we're okay. So just, that's my advice. That's the number one advice thing, is especially with these kitchen faucets, is don't do that. Just stop over renovating. Like, who cares what people on the YouTubes and on the TikToks and on the Instagrams and on the YouTube Shorts think? Like, they're not the ones having to spend the money. I have to spend the money. You have to spend the money. That's what it is. So remember that. Now, anyway, we're going on to the toilet. The chain broke on the toilet. So I'm going to show you guys a little trick here. Instead of buying a new chain, okay, for like $4, you can buy a bunch of these zip ties for $2, and you have like 500 zip ties. And then you can take a zip tie, put it through one of the links on the chain, and then put it through the flapper, and that won't ever come off, okay? The other ones, little metal ones, they'll rust or they'll become loose somehow because some random tenant will walk in, take off the lid, and decide they want to play with it one day. I don't know. It happens. It's just weird. But anyway, again, sorry for the crotch shots. We remember, I told you guys in the last videos, like, I'm just learning how to use the camera, okay? So it's new to me. I'm trying my best. And I'm not doing very well, but we're going to get it taken care of at some point. So anyway, getting the zip tie on there, like I said, through a link onto the flapper, and you're good to go. And it's going to work, and it's not going to come loose ever again. And if you need to get it off, get some side cutters, boop, right off of there, and you're good to go. So that's the other fix. Things like that, thinking that way, that's what's going to save you. I'm telling you, you cannot think like all these people on social media want you to think. Oh, you got to, well, if you're going to do, we need to do things perfectly. No, you need to do things where they work, but where they work and they're efficient, not where they work and it's like Slumlord Max. Like, this is not Slumlord Max. That is effective work. Cost was cheaper, and I have a bunch of zip ties that I needed anyway, and it works. It's not going to break again. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about when I say finding a better way to do things, okay? We didn't need to hire a plumber for $400 to come in there and fix that thing and then tell us, oh, you need a new toilet. No, I don't. I don't need a new toilet. I'm perfectly fine. All right, anyway, there's the ceiling fan that Tam, she went ahead and they said they wanted a new one. So I said, Tam, go in there and clean it and make it look new. And she said, okay, I got you. So she went in there and made it look new. So that was good. I really appreciate that. So she saved me a lot of money on that one. This is me telling Mahmood that, I don't know what I was telling him, but I was pretty much like, you need to get in there and clean it. It's little things like this. I don't know. But like I said, we had a bunch of like chipping parts on there. So I just wanted it scuffed down, wiped out, looking better. So that when we had the inspector come, we would be perfectly fine. We wouldn't have to worry about it. Next, a big thing. Okay, everyone complains. Everyone. They all complain about it. They complain about the light bulbs. They always say, oh, the boob lights. These are boob lights. Why? Because they look like boobs. And if you don't like that, that's fine. You don't have to like what I say, but it's not like it's the untruth. It's not a lie that I've told you, okay? Just change these bulbs out. Go get the LEDs that are 100 watts. They're not really 100 watts. They're like 4.5 or 7 watts or something. Or 14. I can't remember. Ugh, that's bad. See, I'm boring myself. It's like really 14 watts, but it will be 100 watts. I don't know, is watts an energy? Oh, gosh. Now, if my father ever watches this, he'll be so mad at me. Anyway, but you're going to put the 100-watt bulbs up there. It will be so bright. They will not take the covers off of your boob lights. And that's what everyone does, is they take those covers off and they go, oh, I don't know where they went. Okay, you don't know where it went. You took it off. You don't know where it went. Okay, what am I supposed to do with you? What should I do to you? You going to pay for a new one? No, of course you're not going to pay for a new one, okay? That's $17. How dare you ask me to pay $17? Oh, I can't believe that. Anyway, point being, just need to make sure that you put lots of lighting, good lighting in the houses. Easy to switch out light bulbs. It's easy to do things like that. And don't, instead of this thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to put the cheapest light bulbs in, spend a little bit extra money on the light bulbs. It's weird, but it works. Those LEDs will last. Weirdly, they don't last as long as they say they will, and I don't know why. I feel like the tenants are doing something to it, though. Anyway, this is the stopper for the shower, which Mahmood was like, oh, it doesn't work. But it's just because it was clogged up with a bunch of crap in it. And that's why I'm going to get the the nice gloves out here, just so I can get all the nasty hair out. I wish I had this camera up a little. Oh, look at that. That nice white sludge. Human sludge, just something that you just love. Okay, I don't really, but anyway, it was just a bunch of human sludge in there and like built up grease. I don't really know. I mean, maybe they're pouring grease down the shower faucet. I don't know anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually happening. But anyway, so instead of sitting here and buying a new one, or I thought I was gonna have to rip the whole thing up, all we had to do was just pull this thing out. It's a suction piece. I'm pretty sure I put this in last time because it looked nice, and which I probably need to do for most of this stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to make it look nice. And last but not least, we've got a shower faucet. Now this shower faucet had it was like a lot of them were clogged, like the little pores that the water comes out. Little pores? No. Openings. That's a better word. The openings were like clogged up with like lime. You know, you could put like vinegar up there and clean it that way. Or you can go spend like $7 at Walmart or Home Depot. I don't know why I said Walmart. You spend $7 at Walmart and literally just put up another one. That's the way I'm going to do it. Again, time versus money. So it's like we're either going to lose time or we're going to lose money. I choose to lose money. Now I'm looking out my window right now at this very suspicious van driving by my home. And it's going very slow. Okay. I'm just going to hope that nothing goes wrong with that van and that everything is fine. Maybe you guys saw it in the reflection in the back right there. I don't know. But anyway, so my move's going around, and then we figured out that light bulb actually was a smaller light bulb, and we got it taken care of. So that was all done and dandy. And then I'm like, all right, actually, I spent a lot more on that shower head. That shower is like $18. Okay? Like, that was not an inexpensive shower head. I don't know why I did that. I think just because sometimes the $5 ones, I guess, just aren't good enough. I can't remember why I did this. There must have been a reason. Why would I spend more money? Goodman doesn't spend money. Also, that little thing I'm taking out right there, that white thing, take it out. It is like a regulator. It's like a governor, right, on like a motor. And there's no point of it being in there. Just take it out, and the water will flow a lot better. And people will disagree with me. Oh, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It flows perfect. It flows a lot better. It flows great. And there's no reason of having all these stupid things that the EPA or some government agency that doesn't know anything about what they're doing wants us to have in these things. Okay? So do what you want to do, and they can suck it. So that's how we're going to do things here. So now we're going to screw this thing back up. I love that huge problem in the ceiling up there. That looks nice. Yeah, that'll buff. We'll be fine. No one's going to even notice that. Anyway, we get this thing nice, and you can see this is like a really loose shower head coming out of the pipe coming out of the wall. More than likely because there's PEX back there that's not even fastened to the wall. We don't have like a drop ear in there with like some screws, which would have been nice, but you know what? Why do that when you could just slap some PEX up there and who cares? Call it a day. So anyway, whatever. But for all intents and purposes, I think that was all I did at this place. And that seems like not a whole lot, but it does take a long time, especially like the kitchen faucet, like taking it all apart, putting it all back together, everything like that. It can just be a little bit of a doozy. But at the end of the day, we're all finished and completed with the house, which is always very, very nice. And I'm pretty sure after this is when we called in for a section inspection and prayed that we wouldn't have 1,000 things to do. But I also found out that the Mr. Johnson, the normal inspector, is no longer inspecting. They're using a third-party company. So that's where our saving grace is. And in the next couple of videos, I will be explaining why that's so much better than them using their inspector. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, this has been Goodman. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
This is Goodman back with another Suck It Up!